McHale, founder and president of PayrollCentric. Welcome to this inaugural podcast episode of the PayrollCentric podcast. We're affectionately calling this episode Podcast Zero because of our very special guest, Gregg Garfield, the owner of CardConnect, East Valley, and ChipIn. Gregg, welcome to this first episode of Payroll Podcast.
Oh, it's an honor for you to have me here. I mean, for you and I working together for many years, kind of a nutty story between you and I. With that introduction, it's an honor to be your inaugural guest.
So we decided to call this episode Podcast Zero because of you. You were the first COVID patient zero here in Los Angeles, weren't you?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you tell us about it?
So I'm a diehard skier, and every year a group of us go on a European ski trip. And we went back to Italy in February of 2020. Once we got there, I got a call from my girlfriend at the time, now fiance, AJ, who said, "Are you aware of this thing that's in northern Italy where you are called the coronavirus?" And we heard about it. It was, not really present in the United States publicly.
Yeah.
It was in China. It made its way into northern Italy. But we're 13 guys that are all, healthy guys. We're athletes. Some of us bigger athletes than others. We're all diehard skiers, and we weren't too worried about it. We were outdoors, staying in a boutique hotel, weren't around too many people. And she said, AJ said, "Well, pay attention, and if you start coming down to something, be careful. Just be careful." And 3 days into skiing, we started all coming down with flu-like symptoms. We were joking about it during happy hour, like, maybe COVID, this coronavirus, blah, blah, blah. I missed the next 3 days of skiing because I had 100+ degree fever. And one of the guys that was one of our friends that lives in Sweden went home early and went to the hospital and was sent home with the flu. So he called us and actually shared that and said, "Look, we have the flu, no big deal. We're coming back through to LA through Munich." And one of our friends checked into the hospital the night before we were leaving. We were catching a plane back to LA. And 3/4 of the way through the flight, we ended up hearing that he texted us that he ended up testing positive for COVID. Obviously, we were freaked out by it.
Yeah.
We landed. I called AJ first, and we weren't living together at the time, and said, stay away from the house, and I'm going to go home and quarantine. I called my doctor, who called the CDC that actually sent a hazmat team to my house.
Wow.
To pick me up, take me to their office in Pacoima, test me. 24 hours later, I tested positive. This was on March 2nd, 2020. And on the 4th, I was on the phone with a friend of mine who got another mutual friend, which was a retired physician, and said, "You're not doing too well," because my breathing was labored, brain fog tremendously, things like that, and said, "You really need to go to the hospital." So we called around to all the different hospitals in LA. And every one of the hospitals from UCLA, USC, St. John's in Santa Monica, Cedars, they all said, "Go to the emergency room. We're not ready for a COVID patient." Well, if you go to the emergency room, you infect everybody. I was officially COVID positive. So that next morning, my breathing was so bad. St. Joe's Hospital in Burbank Providence was the only hospital that was ready with an inflow room. So we went there. We called the ambulance at 5:30 in the morning. They came, picked me up. I took a picture of my feet in the ambulance to the doors. I sent that to AJ. She was sleeping, obviously, at 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah. And
I was admitted at St. Joe's on March 5th, 2020.
2 days later, they came into my room and said, your oxygen saturation is so low that we have to put you on a ventilator. I had no idea what that means. I even called
some doctor friends of mine to say, is this necessary? And I wouldn't be alive today if they didn't do it. And I spent the next 31 days on a ventilator and given a 1% chance of survival. I had MRSA, sepsis. I had 4 collapsed lungs, 4 different times of collapsed lung. I had a pulmonary embolism. I had ARDS, which is acute respiratory distress syndrome. I had complete organ failure as I was put on 24-hour dialysis. And I was 2 days shy of going on ECMO, which is an iron lung. Anytime they would move me an inch to bathe me, my blood pressure would crash and I would code. I coded 4 different times.
That's incredible.
They didn't think I was going to be walking out of that hospital, to say the least. So
well, we're glad you made it, of course.
Me too.
I have to tell you a story, and I didn't actually prepare you for this. And all the times that we've been talking, I never actually told you this, but during those first few months of COVID, we were actively reaching out to our clients to make sure that we knew where everybody was, as a result of COVID and as a result of the quarantine or shutting down the economy. And I got a phone call from one of our employees, and she told me that you were patient 0, and that your situation was, everybody here was praying for you. Everybody here was, worried about you. And when we heard that you had recovered from it, we all breathed a sigh of relief. So,
thank you very much.
So thank you so much for sharing your story with us about being COVID patient 0. And I know that you've got a couple of video links that goes into depth about your story. And if you share those with us, we'll share them with our viewers.
I'd be honored.
Great. So Gregg, you've been a client of PayrollCentric since 2011. And I'd like you to please thank you for that, by the way. And I'd like you to please tell our viewers about your business, what you do, and how long you've been doing it.
So I've been in the credit card processing space now, in the payment space, for this November will be 35 years. And, we're not the loved industry in the world. We're a necessary evil out there. We're not liked as an industry. Processors are known to be takers. They charge too much. Everybody offers better rates and better service and yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Where we really differentiate ourselves from other companies. And I pride myself as a consultant, as an educator in the space, to really allow people to understand what the processing options are, how to make your business more profitable. But 12 years ago, we really started a differentiator, and we became the credit card processor for Mammoth Mountain ski area. And we aligned with the Mammoth Mountain Community Foundation. What we did was we started peeling off a percentage of our profits to donate to the foundation, and 100% of our money went to the public school system up there. Well, 5 years in, we decided to audit the program to make a determination of specifically where our money went. Yeah. We knew it went to the school system, but what did it go to and how did it affect kids? And we found that the STEM and music curriculum exists because of the money we donated.
That's great.
It affected thousands of children's lives in a 4.5 square mile town. So I decided to brand it because it was such an impactful story to help children out there in this community to better themselves. And we branded it it's called ChipIn, Giving Processing a Purpose. And to date, we've donated over $500,000 and growing to that particular community. And we brought it off the hill, and we meet or beat anybody's program, and we donate 10% of our profits to the charity of your choice for life, making a difference in communities. We develop an ESG presence for businesses. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. We either create an ESG presence for them or enhance their ESG presence at no cost to them because the money comes out of our pocket. It's creating a vehicle in this particular vertical in the merchant processing space to really make a difference. I've been given the best gift of all, life, and giving back means more to me than ever before. In the 35 years of doing my business, probably is only 10% of our business is in the philanthropic space. And 2024, I really motivated myself to increase that to 50%. So that's my target goal.
I think that's great. And of course, I've heard you tell me this story, and you know that PayrollCentric wants to support your philanthropic
Yes.
endeavors. So I look forward to working with you on that. And I guess that might be a good segue. Why don't you please tell us about your ideal customer?
My ideal customer is somebody that processes excessive amount of dollar volume, regardless of the industry. And we're tapped into every vertical that you can think of. That we want, primarily we want to make a difference for the business owner, to reduce costs and make them more profitable, but also align with a cause. Our program that you and I are venturing on, where we're hopefully going to be educating all of your clients. And again, me being one of your clients for a long time, it's an honor to do this, to really educate them on aligning with a foundation in the special needs space. Autism is what our goal is.
That's right.
And we're just trying to make that difference to really tap into those communities, to really reduce costs and donate to that particular cause.
That's great. Yeah, and to all you viewers out there, I mean, that is our commitment here at PayrollCentric. We want to work with Gregg. We want to have some philanthropic support to an autism association, and we look forward to rolling that out very soon. Gregg, I'm going to ask that you give us the approval to share your contact information at the end of this podcast.
Absolutely, and, be great.
And well, let me tell you, a little bit about what we do here at PayrollCentric. I know you know, but I kind of describe what we do for our clients in 3 simple words: compliance, ease, and care. So everything that we do in the payroll space is compliance. Everything is compliance. And our services are meant to make our clients' lives easier. And then equally important, every interaction that we have with our clients, whether it is a text message, an email, a video chat like this, in person, a letter, whatever the case may be, every interaction that we have with our clients, we're meant to demonstrate the fact that we care about you, our client. So, Gregg, you've been a client of ours for 13 years now. Is it safe to say that we've lived up to compliance, ease, and care for you?
Beyond, actually. The part that was so impressive, I had the luxury of being able to introduce you to the Tech Association, the I Consortium.
Yeah.
And it was with great pride that I was able to bring your platform of services to that organization that actually has 2,600 members.
Yeah.
For myself, my experience, anytime I've ever reached out to you with any payroll concern, or somebody's hired, somebody's fired, dealing with information and data, you guys have been Johnny on the spot. And it's a blessing as a business owner that I have somebody that I can rely on with the services that you provide. And what's so funny about this is when you and I were introduced through the networking group of my provisors group, I had no idea that they were introducing me to you at this point. And then when they said to me the name, I'm like, hold on a second, that's my payroll company.
Yeah.
And then having the pleasure of you and I meeting and becoming friends and having this collaboration of business together, it's been a natural, blissful benefit.
I totally agree with you, and I wish you all the success in all that you're doing, both for your business and for your philanthropy, and wishing you good health always to you and your family. And I really appreciate your time here today.
It's been a pleasure, man.
So with that, I guess we'll go ahead and conclude our first episode here. I want to tell our viewers, PayrollCentric is dedicated to simplifying payroll processes for you, our clients, by acting as an extension of your organization. And our approach offers personalized service tailored to each of your unique requirements, backed by a steadfast commitment to compliance, ease, and care. Beyond our core services, PayrollCentric provides valuable solutions, including insurance, time and attendance management, and retirement planning, all designed to enhance our comprehensive payroll offering. Until next time, wishing you all the best.